Today, we're going to be discussing about leading a great identity branding strategy session with your team. Hey, this is Alex Miranda coming to you from The Creative Complex in Miami, Florida. Today we're going to be talking about how I lead strategy sessions, identity strategy sessions with various teams, and how you too can lead a strategy session with your team. But first, I'd like to draw your attention to two links. You can always book a strategy session with me. I can meet with your team. You can go ahead and do that by clicking on the strategy session link. And I'd like for you to sign up to my blog. I send out awesome emails about identity and branding, so click on one of those links. In this video, essentially I'm going to be walking you through what is an identity strategy session. When companies come to me, they're always coming and asking and saying, hey, Alex, I need a logo and I need a website. And then I start asking the questions, right? Like, who's your target market? Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to do? And, most of the times the answer is, oh, I want to target everyone and I want to, go for everything. And, I get the feeling, and I start to get the feeling like they really don't have a plan in place, right? And so I'm like, and they immediately want to rush to the price, right? Oh, how much is a website? How much is a logo? I'm like, a website is $500 or it's $50,000. I mean, really, I don't know until we put a plan together what it is. So then I let my clients know, hey, first we have to have an identity strategy session. I've got to sit down with your team. I've got to figure it out with you guys. So this video is really going to walk you through what that meeting is about. And you can have it with me. You can have it with another consultant. You can have it with your own team. And that's sort of what I'm going to do here. I'm going to walk you through what it is you guys need to discover on your end so that you can put together the right identity action plan. All right. So when I sit down with my clients, usually you've got to set aside about an hour for these meetings. I mean, I've had them go over a little more. I mean, you get really excited. A lot of good ideas come out. You definitely don't want to go over 90 minutes for this strategy session meeting. Anyway, you can, by the way, as a side note, you can do them on Google Hangout. You can do them over the phone. You can do them in person. The key here is doing it, right? Is putting that plan together. So I like to start vision, big vision. I'm a vision kind of guy. So I like to just, throw that right out there. Like, hey, where are we going in the next year, 5 years, 10 years? This gives me the sense of where the entrepreneur is at, right? Where is this leader's head at? Where do they want to go? What are their big visions and big goals for this company? Because that then starts to direct the conversation down as to, okay, so there's this big picture. Okay, how can we, bring it smaller? Okay, now what can we do today, right, to take us down that yellow brick road that could lead us to the big vision? So really, this is the big vision sort of helps me also figure out the why. Why are we even doing this company, right? Because the big picture will usually tell me why we're even in business. Then I'll ask the entrepreneur, what's your story? Or the company who's already been in business and doing a rebranding. What's the story? How did it start? Why did you start, making your own lipstick out of your home? Oh, because, I had this disease and I couldn't use this other lipstick brands. And so I started making my own, which is a great story, right? I need to know that. That's the kind of stuff, right, that starts to fuel the direction in which what we're going to call this company, where the colors are going to be, what's this sort of, again, this mission, right? What kind of a mission are we on? How are we going to change the world? How is our business really going to be different from everybody else's? The story helps anybody really create that sort of unique direction in which the company is going to go. All right. The next thing I really love to hone in on is the target market. If you're watching this video and you're saying that your business and your product is for everyone, I have some bad news for you. That's really not the way we should be thinking. Can your business eventually be for everyone? Yeah. But at the beginning, it starts for someone, right? And I usually just like to bring out one person. This one person is the avatar client. That's what we call them. So I usually like to run through this exercise with my clients and say, all right, who's the last person you sold something to? Oh, Bob. Okay, describe Bob to me. Oh, Bob has these needs and that needs, and, it was just such a pleasure working with Bob, and he, not only did he buy that, but he bought 3 more things, and he's always coming back, and he's telling his friends. Bob is your perfect client, okay? Bob is, 40 years old, college educated, 3 kids, likes golf, whatever it is. I want to start knowing Bob, because if we can get another Bob, and then another Bob, and another Bob, and then we have a room full of Bobs, you're more likely to sell more of your product to more Bobs. The worst thing someone can do, and I spot it right away, I'm telling you, it happens in every strategy session, it's, oh, we want to target everyone. We want to be for the entire community, right? Churches, especially, want to be for the entire community. I'm like, yo, there's like 5 churches on your block. How are you going to be for everyone if everyone is for everyone? But if everyone picked their niche and targeted their thing, oh, we're going after newly married couples, we're going after singles, we're going after African Americans, we're going after the old people, right? Senior citizens. Pick your niche, stick with it, go down that rabbit hole. That's why it's essential for me to discover your target market, because then we can create an identity that magnetically attracts that particular target market. This is a very important part of your strategy session. Nailing your target market, getting down to that one avatar client and really just servicing them and figuring out how can we sell more things to Bob. That's the name of the game here. Not necessarily, finding more Bobs is great, but finding more things to sell Bob, I mean, that's a whole nother topic, all right? But let's find Bob first, and many more Bobs. The next thing is, I want to know your core values. What do you stand for? And listen, usually the core values of a company are the core values of the entrepreneur. The company is the entrepreneur's baby, right? The entrepreneur gave birth to that company. So clearly the company is going to be the DNA makeup of the entrepreneur. It's just the way it is. So what are the entrepreneur's core values? And if you Google 400 core values, just Google that, you're actually going to see an entire list. Someone has composed an entire list of just a ton of core values. And so it's a cheat sheet. Just look at it, highlight each one and circle each one, and then try to narrow it down to 5 to 10. That's going to be very difficult, but it's an amazing exercise to really hone in and get really down on your sort of core values. The next thing is what are our marketing tools, right? So if I'm in a strategy session, I'm asking them, what are you using to send out emails? Who's posting on your social media? How many emails do you have? What do you want your website to say and do, right? So the marketing tools that you have in your arsenal or don't have reveal to me, someone who's creating an identity, the things that we need to produce or the things that are still left that need to get sort of added to your marketing toolbox, including the website. And a good strategy session will talk about the website. What do we want on this website? Where, is it going to have a lead gen box? Is the client going to be able to log in? Or am I going to be able to calculate something? Or, for a church, for example, are we going to have our sermons online? I need an events page. So, that's sort of a part of an identity strategy session, is really talking about the website and its needs. And The last thing, I mean, and this has no particular order. I mean, sometimes I'm jumping around in my strategy sessions, but I really want to know what we're selling here, right? What service, what product are we really offering, and honing in on that. Sometimes it requires sort of eliminating or putting away some products and services. Sometimes my strategy sessions reveal new products and services that could come along. New tools too, especially to be able to properly create a full brand to reveal that identity to your target market. So this is one of the steps in what is the total identity process is this planning phase. You got to have this planning phase. Don't jump into a logo and a website without doing this. I've seen it happen before. People wasting their money, giving someone $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to make a website, and then wondering, why isn't this person producing what I need them to produce? Or better yet, maybe this has happened to you. They come back to you with a logo, and it's like, this isn't what I wanted. Maybe it's not what you wanted because a proper plan wasn't in place to make it happen. I used to do websites and logos without a strategy session. I'll just take your word for it. And okay, you want blue? Cool. You want a cat in your logo? Great, let's do it. But I would see that the correlation here is that those would usually fail, right? Those businesses would usually fail. And so I stopped that. I'm like, no, first we need to have a strategy session. We've got to nail this down. And then I can produce the perfect logo and the perfect website, the perfect brand to bring out your identity. So thanks for watching my video blog. If you have any identity or branding questions, make sure you reach out to me.